marijuana because, you know, I know your persona is different from your rap persona. I know, for instance, you graduated with a 4.0, that you got a scholarship. That's 2 Chainz' Happy Birthday, Def Jam Records. Why do all the guys have on regular clothes and the women have on skin-tight leopard suits? You know, I don't know the answer to that. But why do you advocate legalization of pot when you hear stories like what I'm talking about?
Well, from the stories that I just heard you talk about, they had alcohol included, which we all know, you know, cause you to black out, forget things, and have memory loss. They also dealt with irresponsible people. I don't think that you could put an umbrella on the whole community off these few incidents that you just named.
Well, what community is that? The potheads?
The smokers, the stoners community. I just feel like you can't use these particular stories to define everybody that has recreational use.
I'm not defining everybody. Liz, show me the video of Jessica Gamble out of Ohio. This mom, look at this, 2 Chainz, this mom making her 2-year-old child smoke pot. Watch this. I want you to watch it. Look at this baby.
That's what I was telling you earlier about trying to classify her as something that we would all do once we would smoke a joint. I feel like she was irresponsible. I feel like she was a bonehead. That was an imbecile move. Anybody that loves their kid definitely knows not to put them in harm's way, and that's what she did. So I don't agree with that at all. I mean, she may have mental issues. It may be something deeper than a joint, I believe.
Well, you know what? There is something deeper than a joint, and that's well put. Because what she's doing is child abuse. And what I'm trying to say to you is that if this is legalized, then everybody is going to have unlimited access to pot. And unlike other people that are responsible, irresponsible child abusers are going to have free access.
I'm not sure if you know, but everybody has the ability to get their hands on pot right now, whether it's legal or not. I just feel like if you legalize this particular drug, it could cut out certain things in the criminal justice system, as far as the overcrowding of prisons, as far as putting this on our criminal record to prevent us from getting loans, prevent us from getting homes.
Well,
just the whole thing around recreational weed is not making any sense to me. For me, I'm a taxpayer, okay? And I have one example. For me, I'm a taxpayer. My bus get pulled over and they say they smell weed like they do all the time, okay? They find a grinder on my bus that has .01 of residue inside of it. Okay, they lock me up, they strip me, and then they find out I'm a rapper and they want to know how fine is Nicki Minaj. They want to take pictures and they want to let me go. They obviously charge me with .01. I go to court, I go to trial, and then they say, do you pack your own bags? Is this your grinder? I tell them no. Well, who pack your bags? They find out my security does it. They drop my case, and then they pick it up on my security, who obviously beats the case. If that's not a waste of taxpayers' time and money, I don't know what it is. Legalizing pot, for me, and my personal use, me speaking for me personally, like you keep using this one event with the 2-year-old, for me, it helps with anxiety. It helps with being someone that has shows in front of 50, 60,000 people who have to do meet and greets and be friendly and cordial to thousands of fans. It helps with relaxation. It helps with appetite. It helps with nausea when you're on a flight from here to Africa 16 hours straight. It helps with rest. It helps with sleep. So for certain people, it has its positive effects for that. And so that's where I'm coming from. I can't say that heroin makes you, you know, I'm not sure what it does. But I can't say and speak for a drug that as we all know, is very detrimental to someone. We've never had one case ever in the world documented of someone ODing or overdosing on the use of marijuana.
These people, that's what makes me keep arguing about this, 2 Chainz. People like this guy, Melvin Blevins.
It's the same thing we talked about earlier, darling, with the legalization of alcohol. You will find some footage like this, but everybody is not doing this. Everybody won't be. Some people actually love their child. Some people know that this is obviously wrong. So this is nothing to really argue about. These people are imbeciles. Okay. You can't use this case to define the whole community.
Most Americans live in states where pot laws seem to be edging towards legalization. And if you're not one of them, then you might be soon. See, the Huffington Post has figured out why legalizing weed just makes sense and what might happen as weed prohibition loses its grip on the United States. So, first up, more people smoke weed where it's legal. In Colorado and Washington, higher percentages of people use pot than most other areas of the country, except for Maine, where they are also toking aplenty. And supply increases along with demand, so the more people want it, the more people buy it. So why not grow it domestically rather than having to smuggle it in from overseas? Then the price for high-quality pot drops, and the predicted cost for an ounce in California is now going to go down from around $375 to $38. So more money for the munchies, I guess. But revenue collection actually increases money for taxes, and those can go towards schools and other programs. And in fact, revenues from taxes on pot in Colorado could reach up to $70 million per year. And perhaps it could also help people who are drinking a little too much. Researchers have found that people either like to drink or they like to smoke, but not to do both. It could even help with drinking and driving. While driving while stoned isn't exactly street legal, you are much less likely to be involved in a traffic accident than if you are drunk. And yes, it could even create jobs. Think about all the jobs at the dispensaries, the packaging places, even the ad agencies. And if pot's legal, we can stop arresting so many people. According to the FBI, one marijuana arrest is made every 42 seconds. And it's you, the taxpayers, that then have to pay for them to be put in jail. And that is just crazy. So once it's legal, the internet will be jammed with think pieces on smoking pot, I'm sure. And then maybe, just maybe, the nation will take a giant chill pill and perhaps a toke or two if they're so inclined. What do you think, Ryan? Some pretty good reasons. It just makes sense, huh?
Yeah, I mean, especially it's tough to argue with that tax revenue when we're having so many problems with the budget. So I think that's a tough sort of thing to, for anti-pot advocates to come up against. But, I think this is going to be a state-by-state sort of fight that isn't really going to reach a national level for a few years. But it'll be, I think, important to see how the federal government actually deals with this. If the DEA can, in fact, just sit back and let this happen in certain states, I think, because you have these drug warriors who have been doing this their entire career. So I think it's going to be tough for them to sort of just let this slide without some sort of pushback.